Kathryn Hahn continues her career hot streak with another Emmy nomination. This one, though, her first as a lead performer. Let's talk about Hulu's Tiny Beautiful Things. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my TV review for the recent Hulu series Tiny Beautiful Things, starring Kathryn Hahn. Before we launch into the specifics of this show, let me welcome you into Dan Reviews It. Thank you for finding this video. We've got a ton of great movie and TV reviews for you to check out. I try to post something new just about every day for you, and been doing pretty well with that lately. I think last week or two, it's been every single day, at least one new video going up. So please consider subscribing down below and click that notification bell as well so you can get all the alerts for when I drop new videos. Or if not, just like this video. That helps the channel out as well. All right, so Kathryn Hahn has been nominated already twice in supporting roles, a few years ago for Transparent and more recently for WandaVision. But here she takes center stage, front and center with this Tiny Beautiful Things. And we won't find out about her Emmy win until next year because they've postponed the Emmys now with the writer strikes and the actor strikes going on. So we'll find out about the Emmys in a few months' time. But this actually has a second Emmy nomination as well for Merritt Wever in the supporting role. She plays the deceased mother of Kathryn Hahn's character. So the basic premise here is Kathryn Hahn plays Claire, who is a writer who is going through a lot of personal turmoil with, her family and some addiction issues. And she ends up becoming a popular advice columnist, or I should say taking over for an already popular advice column. And this is based on a book of essays by Cheryl Strayed, who also wrote the book Wild. And so there's a bunch of connections here because Reese Witherspoon's production company, Hello Sunshine, is the producer here. And actually, Reese got nominated for an Oscar for portraying Cheryl Strayed in the movie Wild. But while they were filming that movie, the two of them, sat down and kind of talked about this book and say, oh, hey, maybe we should, adapt this into something. And it ended up becoming this TV miniseries. And Laura Dern, who is Witherspoon's co-star in Big Little Lies, is one of the producers here as well. So there's a lot of, famous people in the mix here. And you can kind of tell because one thing that I've been noticing about the Hello Sunshine banner, Reese's production company, and there is still another 2023 show that I have yet to review. The one starring Jennifer Garner, was it called The Last Thing He Told Me? Something like that. So there's still going to be one in a few weeks that I will review. But something I've really noticed about that Hello Sunshine banner is it really puts the focus on stories about middle-aged women that have, a lot of character in them. They're not just sort of in the background. They're not wallflowers. Think about things like The Morning Show on Apple TV Plus or Gone Girl, the movie, the David Fincher movie. Truth Be Told on Apple TV with Octavia Spencer. These are all sort of shows and movies with, at its core, a very, very interesting female character or set of female characters. The morning show is littered with them, which that'll be coming back for season 3 very soon. But anyway, back to this. Kathryn Hahn is the perfect person to play this Claire person because, for one thing, she's been around the block. She's been acting on TV and movies on a fairly large scale for decades. I first saw her in the NBC show Crossing Jordan, which ran for years and years. She was a big part of that. And then, she sort of segued that into a movie career, always kind of, as a supporting artist, We're the Millers or This Is Where I Leave You or whatever, a lot of different shows and movies. And so WandaVision kind of brought her into, okay, this woman is a force to be reckoned with. And this woman, Claire, is so layered. I mean, it's one of the most layered characters I've seen, male or female, on television this year. And she plays it to perfection. All of these sort of you know, trials and tribulations and sort of lying perhaps in the bed that you've made, but also trying to make things better for you and your family. And she's got this, you know, estranged relationship with her sister, her daughter, I should say. But we also get these really interesting flashbacks. That's where the Merritt Wever character comes in, because Claire's mother passed when she was like a teenager, young 20s, whatever. I think she's a teenager. And so we flash back, you know, sort of This Is Us style, you know, back and forth to that period in her life as well, and sort of regretting certain things and how she treated her own mother, and now she's dealing with it. I guess it is a lot like This Is Us in many ways, but in any event, the writing here is so sharp and really fantastic, and she is excellent in the role. And, you know, it's taking that little trope of, you know, the person doling out advice whose life is in shambles themselves. You know, that was sort of one of the mainstays of like Frasier and stuff like that, or the Bob Newhart show, if you want to go back to the 70s. But, you know, here it takes on some new angles because we learn so much about the background of this character as well. And it's sort of a heightened version of Cheryl Strayed herself. You know, it's not the same character name, but, you know, she became sort of an advice columnist and all of this stuff after her heroin addiction that we learned about in the movie Wild. So I'm not saying it's an extension of Wild by any means, but you know, sort of playing an exaggerated version of that sort of person, you know, who Cheryl Strayed is. So it's really, really solid all the way around. I don't know if I've seen all of the nominees for the Best Actress in a Limited Series category at the Emmys. I've seen probably a few of them. But Kathryn Hahn, I would never bet against her at this point in her career. She's just on fire. And this is one more example of a show why that is. And again, you know, Hello Sunshine, I just am constantly impressed and happy that Witherspoon has sort of, you know, and I'm sure it's intentional, you know, just picked up this baton of like, okay, how do we make women more complex, you know, and more real in TV and movies? And she's done that here. So I Leave Tiny Beautiful Things with an A. You can check out all 8 episodes now on Hulu. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Dan Reviews It. Bye.